birds.
It
Geez,
is.
from here it almost looks like spring.
Well, look at that one. You can see the snow.
It's true. Good morning.
Good morning.
Little Fox in the Phoenix from Quindel Val, 6 years ago. This was before he was even a high school graduate. Dang. Amazing. How are you, Dr. Mary?
I'm good. How are you, my turnip?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain about too much. We had a fun spin class this morning because it was all 90s music, so I spent the entire class thinking about my friends in a cappella choir. Not that we sang 90s music, believe me, we did not. We didn't sing much newer than about 1840. But just, you know, those people and funny people from college. And it was a fun class, actually, to hear music from our late teens, your early 20s.
Yeah.
Are you unwilling to speak?
That was early 20s. I was trying to think when I'm Too Sexy by Right Said
That was
Fred
my freshman year of college.
actually
so
came out. Was it 1991?
I would say 91, 92. Yep. It was fun.
A lot of moves on dance floors in the north of England to that song.
Yes.
Those were
and in the north of America. All right, so
There's a tower down Hessel High Road in Hull.
are you waxing nostalgic for yourself?
Because Tuesdays and Thursdays were student nights.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Most of us don't know of what you speak, but that's all right.
It's a nightclub in the city of Hull in the north of England.
In Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Kind of my favorite place to go. Are you going to pull out the accent now?
No, Dana is enamoured with All Creatures Great and Small on PBS.
It's delightful.
It is actually kind of cool.
It's really, really delightful.
Plus the fact the Yorkshire accent is very sexy.
I don't love the Yorkshire accent, but I love the series.
It's my second favourite accent.
Right behind.
The upper Midwest of the United States.
It's tough to beat this accent. It's true. It's an amazing accent. Okay, let's get to the subject at hand, please, Dr. Mary.
Yes.
It is Worksheet Friday, for lack of a better word. Challenge Friday seems kind of funny because we're not challenging you to feats of strength. So here are some questions.
Mental feats of strength.
Maybe.
And
Here
fortitude.
Are you done?
Yes.
Thank you. Here are some questions to wrap up the week. Get you thinking about the previous 4 conversations. Name a goal in any aspect of your life. That is not the first question.
That's not the first question.
Sorry. Dr. King asked, if not now, when? What's going on in your life that you need to pursue, let go of, or repair right now? And again, if you think about Monday's conversation, it's not that you need to repair it and it's fixed instantaneously. It's that you get started on it. So what do you need to pursue, let go of, or repair starting today? I really encourage you to think through those things, make a list, and start tracking what you're doing to make those things happen or stop happening.
And if you think of something and say, oh, that's ridiculous, that can't count, it clearly does count because you thought of it. So it's bugging
Yeah,
you.
it doesn't have to be something monumental. You don't need to bring about the civil rights era. I mean, he didn't bring it about single-handedly, but, you know, it can be something very small for yourself. Maybe it's, you know, I'm going to leave the kitchen clean before I go to bed versus waking up every morning to a dirty kitchen. That's a seemingly insignificant thing, but you would be surprised how much more pleasant your mornings are if you have a husband who does all the dishes at night. Sadly, you can't have my husband, but if you could find your own husband who will do the dishes, or I guess you could do them yourself.
Yes, because husband over here is not allowed to cook.
Yeah, he lives a terribly tragic life. Anyway, that's your first question. Second question. Addiction is giving up everything for one thing. Recovery is giving up one thing for everything. Do you have anything in your life that leans too far towards addiction? Can you shift any part of it? So again, not everybody has a full-blown addiction of any single thing. I don't think I have an addiction, like a qualifiable addiction to anything, but I definitely have areas that I probably lean too far that direction towards.
Everyone has an Achilles heel, put it that way.
Yeah, you know, years ago now, we decided to hire a cleaning woman because I don't want to wake up every Saturday and berate myself that I'm choosing to read versus dust. And I'm not discounting the value of dusting or cleaning or how lovely it is to live in a tidy house. But I don't want to do that. If I had to pick something to do forever, I would read. I would let all kinds of other things fall to the wayside. Well, that's not appropriate. You have to manage that. Is it a dangerous addiction? No. But if I don't watch it, I can spend hours and hours and hours reading at the expense of other obligations, other people, other responsibilities in my life. So you don't have to have a life-threatening addiction to think about the things that you need to manage. Next question. Name a goal in any aspect of your life. Now, instead of focusing on the end achievement, decide what you need to do to get to the starting point and focus on that. So this goes back to the James Clear conversation that we had, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, about, if your goal is to lose 30 pounds, you can't start at 30 pounds. You have to start at, I'm going to have a healthier breakfast. That's the starting point. That's the piece you can actually control today. So get clear on that end goal and then dial it way back. And I'm just going to put in a self-promoting plug that if you're interested in some kind of work like that, large or small, personal or professional, sign up for my Personal Systems Disruption Retreat, February 19th through the 21st. That's exactly the kind of work that we are doing. And not everybody's goal is massive. Some of them are quite small and personal. That's fine. So I'll put that link into today's post. Next question. Do you have a signature piece or mantra or thing that represents your power, like Vice President Harris's pearls? How does it make you feel? And if you don't, is there something you could adopt? I'm curious if you do, because I think the answer for you is yes, but I'm curious if you have an answer to that. Okay, well, oh, good. What is it?
For nearly 4 years now, I've carried around on a necklace the Serenity Prayer, which is the prayer of the alcoholic. And it reminds me of what I am, how far I've come, and hopefully keeps me honest to keep going in the right direction.
Yeah. And I would say I never really thought of it this way, but so this was my great-grandma, Bessie Thompson Carr's wedding band. She had a failed marriage. Her husband abandoned her and my grandma when my grandma was very little. I guess my grandma just had the ring. And then it was my mom's wedding band to my dad because, they were very young and had no money. And that was also a failed marriage. And this is my wedding ring. And so I sort of wear them together, because I just think this band is, it's very simple. It's just a gold band, but I think it's really beautiful. But it's also a really powerful reminder to me that marriage is more than just a piece of paper that legalizes a relational transaction. It is a constant working thing between you and your spouse, between you and yourself, between you and everything else. And so I wear these two together to remind me of that. All right, next question. What is your truth? What are you doing to declare and define your own ending? So this goes back to the Brené Brown quote. You have to own where you've been and what is real for you, but you don't have to be defined by it. Your ending can change. And the way that it can change is because you have the power to change it. There is no prescribed path for you. You might be on a path. Get off it if you need to. Try a different one. Get out of what isn't working. Do more of what is working. And be unapologetic for it. Who the hell cares where you've been? Where you've been is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, actually, that was a shamed young single mom. It doesn't matter that you were an alcoholic. What matters is where we are today and where we're going. And those certainly inform where we are and where we're going, but they don't have to define us and ruin the rest of our lives.
I read a statement once a while ago, or maybe you sent it to me, I can't remember. Which means that's
If it was good, I probably did.
You must have sent it to me then. It was simple. It just said, you know, you're not a plant. If you don't like where you are, move.
Yeah. Tree. You're not a tree. You can move plants.
You can move trees too.
Well, not quite as easily. But yes, that's not from me. You told me that years ago.
A quote from my most favourite movie coming up here. It's easy to dig up a tree and then anyone with money can fill in the hole.
I don't know, have any idea what that means. Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, it's, you know, change, but don't be ashamed of your past.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well done.
Because if you fill in the hole, anyone with money means they can hide the past.
Oh.
But you learn from it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
So if you're interested in that, I can send us a text. I'll tell you what my favourite movie is.
Exciting. Maybe you know what we're going to do? We're going to put it in the newsletter that goes out tomorrow. So if you want to know what that movie is, and you know you do, sign up for our newsletter. I'll put that link in the comments too.
Good film.
Last question. Whom has been a light for you? That is technically correct. How have they mattered to you? Have you been a light for someone else? And how did that make you feel? So it's a 4-part question. Who's been a light for you? Because, again, you don't have to hit a literal physical rock bottom to have needed light. I will say, and I alluded to this a little bit yesterday with Melissa Birkland, our incredible guest. Melissa was a light for me. That dinner this summer,
Yeah, that was a good evening.
was like a healing balm, because we had never sat in all these years with a couple who knew exactly where we had been, almost to the day. So to have that moment really felt, it was just a very, very powerful moment for me. And I have millions of other people who have been lights, just incredible people. Some of them who have been long-standing in my life, and some of them who showed up seemingly out of nowhere, did their job, and I never saw them again. Just incredible. Do you have those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're powerful. Spend some time today reflecting on who has been a light for you, and why it's mattered. And then think about, and this is a little bit, you know, it's better when someone else can say to you, wow, let me tell you how you've been important to me. Because often I think we are important to people and we don't have any idea, because people don't tell you. So it's a little bit weird to say, well, where have you really made an impact in someone's life? But we all have had opportunities to do that. So stop and think about, where did you show up for somebody? And again, this isn't about a lifelong relationship. Sometimes let me give you a perfect example. I have a donor couple in my life, who I just really genuinely have so much personal and professional regard for. And she is having some health challenges. So I called her yesterday, not to ask for money, but I called her to see how she was. And she had just found out that she has to go back in for another surgery. And so I said to her, I'm just calling to see how you're doing, because I know you're 2 weeks out from your previous surgery. And she said, I'm pissed off, Dana. And I said, why? She said, because I just got off the phone with my doctor and I have to go back in for more surgery. And we had probably a 12-minute conversation. And she used me as that opportunity to just scream about what she was mad about. And she said to me at the end, thank you for calling. I feel a whole lot better. I didn't know that I was gonna
it works.
matter in that moment, and anybody who called would have mattered. It really wasn't about me, but I just happened to be the person who received her ire and accepted it. And so, you know, it can be something small. I didn't save her life. I didn't do anything all that important, but I was there in the moment. So how did it make me feel? It made me feel good, because there have definitely been people who have called me at the seemingly wrong time, and it has, of course, been the absolute best time, because I have needed to have a moment to release that pressure valve, and they have accepted it, and it's mattered. And maybe it was a one-time thing, but it has mattered. So go back, watch these conversations this week. If any of these questions are intriguing to you, they follow the week. So Martin Luther King was Monday, and they make their way through. And again, we're going to put Dr. Mary's favorite movie into our Saturday newsletter. We'll put the actual worksheet into the newsletter, and a number of other things. Have a great Friday. And you got anything else to say?
No, have a good Friday. See you Monday. Enjoy and think about these things.
Yeah. Bye.
See you Monday.